So this is a continuation of my Agwu video. I think I did it like last year when I was starting this channel. So if you have to look for my Agwu video, you really have to search for it. But just look for my Agwu video. So this is a continuation because some information came to light about Agwu, Mother Eba Agwu. Now, what is even Agwu? Now, you can look at it as a mental illness that is coming as a result of not acknowledging or aligning with your Agwu. Now, what is Agwu? Agwu bag agbara ketere akonuche mmadụ. Agwu and your akonuche, your mental ability, your cognitive ability, your intelligence, your creativity, there is nothing different from it. Agwu is that entity or spirit that makes you special, that makes you who you are. Now, if you embrace Agwu in an Igbo context, what is supposed to do? Every ritual that is targeted at acknowledging Agwu is supposed to improve your creativity. Now, know that Agwu is onataluchi. Is not something that you can get from somewhere. It's not something you can learn. Although it's possible, you cannot learn Agwu, but you can learn the office of Agwu. When we talk about people like Nwadibia, look at the Nwadibia now. You say Onya bu Nwadibia, a person that is a Dibia apprentice. Now this person doesn't have an inherent onataluchi Agwu Dibia. So what this person is going to do after the apprenticeship, this person will do the rite of Edonya Kanau. Now the Dibia that he or she is apprenticing, then this person would, tap or connect to the Agwu energy of that individual and can now establish his or her own Oku and continue from there. Now, they can even make it further by doing Esatogo or Eda Ogu. Whatever the person wants to do, but just know that a Nwadibia does not have the Agwu Dibia energy inherent in him or her. So this is one side. Now, these individuals that are born with cosmic calls of becoming Ndidibia, what happens to these people? They are, because of Christianity, because of whatever belief that a person has, the person could decide not to attend to his or her Agwu. Now, when Agwu, we have a period of time. Agwu does not necessarily start at an early age, but it's going to give you insight. It's going to give you signs that you're special, depending on the kind of Agwu. But this particular thing I'm talking about is targeted at Ndoro Mara, the Dibias, in whatever capacities and workers and one year. Oye na kwaja, oye Dibia Ogwu, Dibia Afa, in whatever capacity they're going to serve as a Dibia. So this video is strictly for people with a Dibia kind of a Akalaka, Akalowa destiny. So once the Agwu has gotten to a certain age, because it depends on your EOA, your agreement with it. If your agreement is that you're going to start up this work at an early age, it would manifest at an early age. But whenever two of you agreed that you're going to start this work, this is when it is going to start to manifest. So this manifestation could start at a time, and when it starts, we look at it as Owo Echake, Agwu Echake, or Agwu Ewake. Agwu has awakened. In my book, I looked at it as when I talk about having an enlightenment, the bliss period. Now we have a bliss period that is attached to your chi. Now there's also a bliss period that is attached to your Agwu. So at that point where Agwu has awakened, it might not necessarily start to become troublesome. It could necessarily start by, allowing you to have a good life. It will provide you with things. I have heard stories of people that will tell you that they are somebody today because they go to sleep and they have revelations, business ideas, business or people that are going to buy things from them. So once they come to the market, that person will come and buy those things from them, and whatever that person buys from them would boost their work. Some will tell you that they've gotten inspirations from their dreams, that they are sleeping. And I have a friend who's an artist. She said that she sees all those things in her dreams, and some of the things she's reading are scary, but she said she just sees them. Some will tell you that she'll just be staring at a position, and she'll be seeing all those kinds, and when she starts drawing them. So these are Agwu inspiration. Personally, for me, I'm a writer. And for some reason, everything on ordinary comes extremely easy for me. I dabble in a lot of things. I like to read. But ordinary, because when I even started, I started off as an Afrocentrist. But I wasn't fulfilled. something was still missing in my life. I love history, so I used to read documentaries. They're like my favorite things those days. But eventually, at a point, I woke up at night, and I might just be staring at a particular place, and it's as if something somewhere is downloading information in my head. So most times I wake up at the middle of the night and I'll start muttering words. So at that point, my head was actually leaving. So this is like the effect of Agwu, as at that time when it kind of started. So for other people, these experiences are quite different. So as a writer, I kind of get some of my inspirations from Agwu. When I'm writing a particular thing, I might just kind of try to complete a sentence, and something will just complete it for me, just kind of like whispers. And I would, so at other point I was like, what is happening? You get? And some other instances. So if when I was waking up, it will begin to be good. Share informations with you. You're extremely creative, you're doing well. But all of a sudden, because Agwu is doing it to show you that this is my agreement with you. So at a point, if you're adamant, you're not listening to yourself, because not just is Agwu showing you things, helping your life, it also appear in your dreams. It could be in form of a masquerade, in form of a dog, in form of a crocodile, in form of herbs. It will tell you, see, oh, this thing is happening. Come and answer this call. Come and attend to your Agwu. That's the appropriate word. Come and attend to your Agwu. But you can be adamant about what is happening to you. Now, at a point, Agwu will start to take back what has been given to you, because Agwu is now saying it that if life is good for you, you will never know that there is something you should acknowledge, that there is something somewhere, that there is an agreement, that a cosmic oath that you took with it. If the world is enough for you, you will be under the illusion that the world is enough or is good to other people. Because the essence of you having the kind of Agwu that you have is because you're supposed to use it for something. For people that have Agwu Dibia, your Agwu Dibia is not for you to embezzle, it's not for you to scam, it's not for you to, destroy people's lives. You're supposed to use it to save people's life. Although because good and bad would always exist, we don't expect every single Dibia to be good, and we don't expect every Dibia to be bad. Both of them have to come to maintain that balance. Now, if you're practicing ordinarily, you have to get used to it. If a Dibia can save your life, that Dibia can also kill you. Two of them exist. It's just the morality or the insult that person is supposed to keep that basically determines if what the person is going to use that cosmic access to do, who the person is tapping into these energies. So at this point, Agwu is expecting for you to basically perform the necessary rites and rituals. And as at that point, it's not relenting. It's not going to magically stop giving you inspirations. It's not going to stop making you to know that something is happening. You're going to be getting these informations from Agwu. It will not stop. It will still be there. So once it's happening and you're not attentive enough, even your dreams, you don't pay attention to it, it will now start to be really, really drastic. It will now maybe afflict you with akohili or otro. When people see you, they would hate you for nothing. But another thing there is that in as much as your life kind of has like a U-turn, you're still going to be getting the things that you're getting now. Your creativity will still be working for you. Things will still be working for you. But the problem there is that after that, what next? That money that you've gotten from any of those things will somehow evaporate, miss. I say get Agwu, but not in that literal sense. Agwu could mean a problem from nowhere would come and take out the money that you've gotten after working. So once that thing is happening and you're still not paying attention, now it will now transcend to mental illness or death, or it can even make you to be involved in an accident that will make you to lessen then they will now, because Edibia said that he refused to answer. He's a Dibia, but that's his own kind of Dibia. He said that he refused to answer the call of Agwu until he had an accident. He now had a dream where somebody asked him, are you now ready to do this thing? He said yes. They now taught him how to fix his broken leg, and now asked him to leave the hospital, fix his leg, and the way he's going to fix his leg, that's how he will now start fixing other people's legs. He left the hospital, he fixed his own leg, and from there started to now fix other people's legs. Is what Agwu does. So it depends on how Agwu wants to basically get you to listen. But if it now gets to schizophrenia, mental illness, now maybe your mind will no longer be in one place. It will now basically dissipate. It's everywhere. But what this thing is doing to you, what this Agwu is all about, is that it's not that Agwu literally strikes you or inflicts you with this mental illness, but it's coming from you not fully knowing or understanding yourself. Am I young? You're getting these informations from Agwu, yes? Okay, no problems. But there is a need for you to sediment the Agwu energy, because Agwu is just like Agwu is like a direct source to the mind of Okike, Uchechukwu. So Agwu is like a cable. Imagine that you as a person, you're in tune with cosmic forces at that level. Through your Agwu, you're connected to the universal mind. How are you going to handle it? So this is the problem here, is that once Agwu is transmitting that information verbatim, it's transmitting that information, there is no wedge, there is no channel, it's not passing through any diffuser. It's connecting directly to you. Your mind or your brain capacity will not be equipped to handle it. Will not be equipped to fully handle it. Now from there is where the mental illness starts. Because you might just be seeing things. Things you don't know, but you know them. You can start muttering to yourself. You can, and they will tell you the earliest sign of a mental illness, when you start whispering, when you start saying things that are incoherent, your mind is leaving. But when you now perform the rites of Agwu, you're sedimenting that energy. And when you're sedimenting that energy, to fix, to put something in arudo. When you don't perform the rites of Agwu, you're diffusing the Agwu energy. First of all, in a journey or in a notebasi that has an oko, there is an ajahn inside it with other orishirishi, things that they use to institute Agwu, depending on how your community does it. So it will first of all pass through that diffuser before it gets to you. You see why Agwu is important. Now, as they're performing that rite of Agwu, they are also doing what they are calling Akonuche Agwu. And they are also doing what we call Ndi Agwu. They are spirits or entities that are there to basically fight you. Because we believe that wherever wherever there is good, there is evil. So for you to function and enjoy the Agwu energy, the benefits of Agwu, you have to you give Ndi Agwu their own. And once you're giving Ndi Agwu their own, as they are taking their own, you're giving, it's as if you're feeding your vices. You're feeding your vices. That's the appropriate word. So once you're connected, you're getting from Agwu, you're feeding your vices. And once you're feeding your vices, it will then make you a wholesome human being. This is the essence of Agwu. And while mental illness, Agwu, is not literally that a person is running mad, but because a person cannot fully grasp what energy transmission he or she is getting from Agwu. And another reason why these kinds of things, the negative misfortunes that are associated with, a person not answering their call. Now, Igbo people, we believe in fate. Things don't just happen. If now, you're fated to save a person's life. You're fated to do a certain things. And people will say, whatever gift you have is not for you alone. You are given that gift because you need to use that gift to make yourself, your community, your environment better. So when you now know that you have an Agwu and you refuse to walk the path of Agwu that has been given to you, and somebody out there that you are fated to save or solve his or her problem is out there suffering, don't expect your own life to be better. If that person because you have to complement each other. If that person gets his or her salvation, you will now get your own salvation. My mentor would tell me, he will say, you see, I know you're doing this thing you're doing, Abi, but seriously, let's be honest. You should have actually established yourself. And I will laugh. I was like, yeah, but I know, but I'm still studying. I'm still reading. Like, okay, read fast, though. And I'll still talk to my one. I'll say, I will not be like that, though. I beg, you have to understand all this kind of thing. We have to know you well before we approach you, which is a mistake many people don't even make these days. You have Agwu, okay, yes, jump into it. Few years later, you're making mistakes and you're running out again. So we have to understand how all those things function. So when you're being told you have an Agwu, your first approach, like how I did my own, is to study. Then perform the rites of what you're doing here is that you're not saying that I'm not going to answer this call of Agwu. I'm going to answer this call of Agwu, but give me a certain period of time. Let me live my life. Let me establish myself. Let me learn. Let me, whatever you want to do. Use that time and do it. But you have to agree with Agwu. So once you've done that, Agwu withdraws. And as you're performing that Agwu, they're giving, I said, they're doing a certain kind of installment that will diffuse that Agwu energy for you. So these are the various interpretations, the various reasons why when you're told you have a cosmic call, then the best thing you should do is address it. And addressing it could mean different things for different people, but you have to address it, because I think I might be right to say your life actually depends on it. So this is it, guys. So if you got any value from this video, like usual, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to like. And if you have any video specification, I'm going to be glad to hear about it. And until the next video, I'll be glad to see you again. Yeah, guys. Yeah.